Julia Killer, arguably the woman with the best surname in the industry. Remember that. I'm Director of Label Relations at SoundCloud. And 2017 has been a very eventful year for SoundCloud, and I'm sure you've read all about it in the press. But I'm not here to talk about that. Today I'm here to talk about Chance the Rapper and how he really did absolutely everything right when it comes to using the platform, and what artists and managers and labels can learn from that, essentially. First things first, though. What's this? This is the elephant in the room. So let me quickly address what happened to us last year. So July saw a round of layoffs. You know, we were in the press constantly. We're being slammed. We're dying. We're dead already. You know, we're totally irrelevant. But then Q4, we actually, you know, had really great news. We got on that round of new investment, some new faces, a new CEO, and things are really looking up, and we're really excited. So now really is the time for us to strategize on how to get back to basic, concentrate on what we're doing best, and we really believe that the key and our USP lies right here.
For a long ass time. Shouts out to DJ Drama for doing it first. He put in that time. Shouts out to every independent artist out there. Shouts out to SoundCloud for holding me down. It's another one, baby!
So what happened? This happened, and it caused us all to freak out because we didn't pay him and we didn't know this was going to happen. So SoundCloud was the first ever streaming service to be name-checked in any award ceremony ever. So, like I said, we didn't know it was going to happen. Chance the Rapper is very, very dear to us. We've worked with him for a very long time. He really uses the platform to its best abilities, and he knows exactly how to reach his audience and maintain this connection with his fan base. So you might have heard of Chance the Rapper maybe, you know, a couple of years ago, but actually he uploaded his first track in 2011, and he's been working really, really hard for the past 7 years to find his fan base and keep that connection with his fan base. And what I want to do today is share some of these tips and tricks that we've shared with him over the last 7 years, and you know, the things that we taught him on how to do exactly that and establish yourself as, you know, someone who is amazing and makes a difference. Now, very, very brief, I promise. I want to give you a quick overview of what SoundCloud is, because this is actually something that, you know, is still very, very confusing to people. Not a lot of people understand fully the ecosystem that is SoundCloud. So before I dive into what exactly you need to do, let me give you a very quick overview. So we are the world's largest music platform. We have over 160 million tracks on the platform. An incredible 12 million artists get heard every single month. And I mean, that's insane. Over 1.2 million artists are featured in playlists daily. And we have a reach of over 193 countries. Now, what does all of this mean? This means there's a lot of tracks, and there's a lot of competition, and there's a lot of noise, and you need to get yourself in front of the right audience and really make yourself heard, because with 160 million tracks, there's a lot of competition. Our listeners are super young, super engaged, very, very, very passionate about the authentic connection with the artists. That's what they come for. You know, they come because they know this is where the artists actually upload their tracks themselves, and this is where you can message the artist, and this is where you can see what the artist comments on his own tracks. 75% are between 16 and 24, so they're Gen Z and millennials, which is also incredibly young. And 90% are on mobile. So how do they listen? You can listen for free. You can listen by paying our mid-tier subscription fee, or you can take out SoundCloud Go, our high-tier subscription. So there's 3 different ways of listening on the platform. And as a creator, you can choose to upload your content for free. You can choose to become a pro partner or a pro unlimited partner. Now, all these different subscriptions gives you access to different features that you might need throughout your career, depending on at what stage you are as an artist. Now, let's look at the most exciting partnership. That's the one that Chance the Rapper has with us. So we also offer a service called SoundCloud Premier. SoundCloud Premier is basically, artists that we sign directly to SoundCloud. So that's artists that have no publisher, they have no label, and they want to do it themselves, or they have to do it themselves because they're not yet at a stage where any label or any publisher would be interested in them. So those artists can make money for every stream that they generate on the platform. So it's a part of the advertising as well as the subscription income. And we report to them on a monthly basis. We share stats with them, the whole shebangs. What it also means is that you have access to our artist relations team, which is something that Chance has really taken advantage of from day one. He works really, really close with our team in trying to get the best out of whatever we're offering, which is anything from marketing and promotional opportunities at live events. We absolutely love pairing our premier partners with great brands. It makes us feel really incredible and really, really proud if we manage to find the right connection between a brand and an up-and-coming artist. And if they then get 10 grand out of that, and that means they can finance their next EP, and then they let us know. That is something that's what we're doing this for, and that's why we love partnering premier partners with brands. And this is actually something you might have read about this in the press yesterday. So this is what we're expanding heavily in 2018, because we believe this is exactly where the differentiation lies and what we really want to focus on. So some of the, just to give you an understanding of who else is or has been in this program, there's a whole group of artists that we like to call alumni. So that's artists who started off as SoundCloud Premier Partners first and then went on to be signed. So Lil Uzi Vert, he was a Premier Partner. Lil Yachty, 21 Savage, Metro Booming, XXXTentacion. There is, you will see that or hear that they're pretty much all in the world of hip hop and rap. That's not to say that this is any criteria that we have for accepting you to this program. That's just naturally what has happened in the past. As such, let me share some tips and tricks with you how you actually set yourself up to become successful. And before even going into anything else, I want to say something that I always say to absolutely everyone, no matter if label, manager, artist, and that is, do not think of us as a streaming service. Yes, we're a streaming service, but most and for all, we're a form of social media. And this is the key difference. Yes, we have some curated playlists that you can pitch for. The majority, however, are algorithmic. So this means the more you engage, the more results you get. End of. It's up to you to set yourself up for success on the platform. So I'm going to run you through shortly through those points that you need to keep in mind. At first glance, this all seems pretty obvious, but you would be absolutely surprised at how many artists or labels or managers do not stick to these rules. First rule, please choose a clear display name and profile URL. A great bad example is Drake. If you go onto the platform and you try finding Drake, you might spend a minute or two until you find him. And that is because Drake is very, very passionate about his profile, and he chose his profile name to be October's very own. So that, makes it a little bit harder for him to be found. And, we've tried explaining to him that he might be better off changing his URL or his profile name to Drake so people can actually find him, but no. Add your socials. This ties back in with we are a social platform, so please, by all means, do link through to your Facebook, to your YouTube, to your website, to whatever you want to link through to sort of create this social network between all your fans. If you have a pro account, you have the ability to pin tracks to the spotlight, which is at the top of your page. So keep in mind that this is the first thing that users see when they come on the platform. So if they have 20 seconds to decide if they like you or not, that's what they're going to listen to. So this is your real estate. This is your editorial section where you show off what you're about. Chance the Rapper, for example, at the moment, if you go onto his profile, he's got his Christmas EP linked to the top, which is something that he does every single year. He releases a mixtape, which is super hyped. It comes out just before Christmas, and it's exclusive to SoundCloud, and it's still pinned to the top. I don't know, might be time to take it down, but he's very, very super passionate about using that space at the top. And then I don't have to talk to you about genres, but make sure that they're actually correct, because if your genre is not correct, the algorithm is going to have a hard time, finding the right audience for you. Also, add buy links. So if you're on tour, use this to sell tickets. Use this to link to a download store if you want to. Don't use it to link to competing streaming services, please, because not amazing. But you can put any buy link in there that you want. And then the power of networks, that's actually super, super important, and comes back, I come back to what I said earlier, which is SoundCloud is a social platform. So any actions you do on the platform, whether this is a like, whether this is a share, whether this is a commenting, whether you're creating a playlist, they all directly impact the algorithm. So if you're a manager or if you run a label, have your artists like each other's tracks, have them comment on each other's tracks, have them share each other's track. Try to increase the reach by really building this network. Interact with your community. Make announcements, do giveaways, run a Q&A in the comment section, directly message your fans. Essentially, get creative, because there's 100 million things you can do on the platform, and this is not limited to music content. You can upload non-music content. You can announce a tour. You can announce a new video that dropped on YouTube. You can keep a tour diary and upload a little bit of audio snippet every single day. It is really, the possibilities are endless. So one of the things we also do is social takeovers, and the guy you see here is actually Chance the Rapper's brother, who took over all our socials, which obviously always works really well because you're connecting fan bases with each other. And then lastly, it wouldn't be a music industry conference without talking about data. There's a lot of data. Play counts, top listeners, top cities, top websites. And I'm just going to tell you a quick story about how Chance the Rapper used this data. In May last year, he reached out and he said, I really want to do something in Chicago for my top listeners. And we worked with him to identify the 0.001% of top listeners in the Chicago area. He created a hashtag, started trending all over Twitter, went absolutely crazy. People were, anticipating the show, and they didn't quite know what was happening. They knew something was going to come from SoundCloud. We then sent out an invite to the top 1,000 listeners in the Chicago area, inviting them to this private and secret show. There was no details. They were being picked up at a secret location in a truck. They had no idea where they're going. They didn't know what was happening. It caused an entire Twitter meltdown. And afterwards, we actually had messages from people going insane at the fact that they weren't invited, and how if they're listening for the next 24 hours and upping at their streams, whether they can still get an invite. And it caused mayhem. So that was a really, really lovely way for him to sort of engage with his fans, make them feel special, using the data that he can access directly. Lastly, the newest feature are obviously highlighted here. Track your plays from playlists and albums to gain deeper insight on your listeners and connect with curators. So what that means is just we want to give you the opportunity to find out who actually playlists your tracks, and then talk to them. See what they're doing, see whether they want to playlist another track, see what is their reach, and really engage with them and give you the option to find your curators that like your content and that are happy to share your content. And then to sum it up, briefly, this is SoundCloud Pulse app, which gives you all of this on the go. Not a lot of people know about the app. It's pretty good. And to sum it up with Chance again, so Chance loves this app. What he loves to do is when he's bored, he goes in there and he messages his fans, just like that. I can see you have listened to my track 40 times in the last 2 hours. Are you all right? You know, like, is everything okay? Or congratulations, you were my, 10,000 stream today. He really, really likes to engage. Or, I'm in town, and I can see you're my top listener in whatever, New York. He loves this app, and he uses it all the time. So this is something where really, really easily you can build that connection with your fans directly on the go. It doesn't take a lot, takes you 2 seconds, and has an incredible result. As such, I want to say thank you very much. If you have any other questions, this is my email. I'll be around for a little bit later today. Come and find me. Thank you.